Hello everyone, you are welcome back to Physique Fashion's channel. My name is Fola. Today we'll be learning how to make one fitted top with organza ruffle sleeves. Let's get started. To make this top, I will be making use of like just 1 yard of a thick crepe, thick organza as well of about 1 yard as well for both sleeves, and I'll be needing this bias tape for the neckline region and the armhole region. To make this top, I've gone ahead to fold my fabric. I will be cutting both front and back together. And then when you are folding your fabric, ensure that the stretchy part is in horizontal level. You can see that is because you need very stretchy material for this project. Now, I've folded my fabric. You can see we have 4 slices here. Unfold. One will serve for the front, while the remaining 2 will serve for the back. So here we have it, and for this side, you can see is unfold. Both front and back will be unfold. You don't need any zipper or whatever for this top. And I've measured my top length. My top length is 24. This line here is my starting point. From there, I measure 24 inches down, then have an inch as my hem allowance. So, and the bust I'm working with is 34. So, I use that 34 to get my armhole line. 34 divided by 6 give us 5.5, then plus 1.5 making 7, then plus the shoulder slope of 1 inch making 8 inches. So from this point I get my 8 inches as my bust line. 8 inches. I mark it and connect it with my straight ruler. So, and the shoulder measurement we are working with is 14. We divide it by 2, give us 7 inches. You mark it here, 7 inches. You mark it here as well, 7 inches. You connect it. This top is very easy to make. It's a beginner friendly. So you get your shoulder slope of 1 inch. The neck width we'll be working with 3.5. Then the neck depth for the front will be 7 inches, while the back neck depth will be 1.5. Just this way you get your back neckline. You connect your shoulder slope of 1 inch. Then you begin to measure your horizontal measurements. The bust you are working it is 34. You divide it by 4, give us 8.5. So you measure 8.5 here. So we'll be making use of just half an inch as our seam allowance for this project. Then you connect your armhole. Get this 7 inches from shoulder slope to your bust line. Chest line is 7 inches. You divide it by 2, 3.5. On it you come in with a 3/4. But for the back, you'll be making use of this very line. So we are going to be getting the armhole curve for the back first. So thereafter we get that of the front, because every of our cutting is going to be based on the back first. So we get our waistline of 16 inches. So we measure waist on this point. The waist we are working with is 28. We divide 28 by 4. It gives us 7 inches. So we measure 7 inches here. Then seam allowance. For the waist part, we just use 1 inch as our seam allowance. So we come to the hip line. The hip measurement we are working with is 38. We divide it by 4. It gives us the 9.5. We measure 9.5 here. Then seam allowance of half an inch. Then we connect it. So before we cut it out, we are going to add the seam allowance to the shoulder region, half an inch. Then we get half an inch here as well. So we just connect it. So for the neckline region, you can add just a 1/4 of an inch here, just 1/4 for the joining allowance here, or you might not add anything, depends on you. It doesn't affect anything. So I will just add 1/4 of an inch. So I will cut out. As we are cutting out, note that is the back we are cutting out first. This is the back one that will be following now. So thereafter we come and especially for the armhole region and the neckline region. When you are folding, ensure that you consider your hip in folding your fabric. You know, the hip is 38. You divide it by 4. Whatever you get, you add like 2 inches to it in folding your fabric. So I won't bother to consider this 1/4 of an inch that I added, because I want the neckline region to be a little bit free. So I cut the original back neckline, which is 3.5. So all we need to do now is to remove the one under. The one under is for the back. I open it this way, I remove it. So this will serve for the back. So I will just trace out the armhole curve and the neckline for my front now. So now to get the front neckline, all I need to do is to connect to this 7 inches point, just this way. You know, the front is V neckline, so I'll just connect it. This is the neckline for the front. Then I do the same thing for the armhole. For the armhole, this is the way you are going to draw your armhole. You consider this 3/4, means 0.75 that will come inward. Then I had my half an inch seam allowance. So I just follow this mark now. This is what I will use in cutting out the armhole for the front cut. Yeah, so this is the front cut. Let me cut the neckline. This is the front. This is the back. The front cut, the back cut. So the next thing is for us to go and join the sides together now. Now the next thing I'll just go ahead and do is to open my fabric and join front and back together. Let the right side face the right side. Then you go ahead and join the side together with the half an inch. Despite the fact that you use 1 inch for the seam allowance for the waist, you still use half an inch. You just need his in that waist region. So half an inch, we use half an inch to join it by the side. We use half an inch to join it at the shoulder. So thereafter we pipe it with these are bias. We pipe both front and back neckline together with this bias. Then we pipe the armhole region with bias. So let me go and do that and come and show you how it looks like. Here we are. I've gone ahead to join the sides together and I've piped it with my bias by the armpit region and the neckline region. Before I forget, anytime you are dealing with a white fabric like this for your clients, all this chalk, ensure that you dry clean it before delivering it to your clients. It's very important. You can see that for the neckline where I fix my bias, I've not really torn it. I just join it. So I'll be using this invisible thread to tack that neckline, because I wouldn't want my sewing to be obvious on that neckline region, just the way I did in the armhole region. So you can see that it's been sewn in the armhole region. I wouldn't want it to be like that in the neckline region. So what I'll be doing is that I will use this invisible thread to tack it. So this is it in the right side, so the thread will not be obvious. So that's the purpose of this invisible thread. I'll be doing remaining of this off camera. Now to make your sleeve, now all you need to do is to measure your armhole region. Just measure it round. So whatever you get, here we have 16 inches. Whatever you get, you multiply it by 3, and that will be the length of your organza. Then the wideness will be like 16 to 18 inches. So here I have 18 inches by, so that's 16 inches we measure in this armhole region. You can multiply it by 2, 2.5 or 3 inches. So we have 43 here. If we multiply 16 by 2, it gives us a 32. So plus 16 again, or plus 8. If we add 8 to it, it gives us a 40. That is 16 multiplied by 2.5. So we have like 43 inches here. So we are good to go. This is for the 2 sleeve. So fold it into 2 equal parts this way. Then I will go and stitch it down here. Then I turn it to the right side. Now this is it. I've gone ahead to tack the neckline tape. I've tacked it. You are good to use a facing for your neckline. And for the down parts, I will just give it a small small cuff down here. I'll just step up with 1 inch, connect it. For the sleeve, I've gone ahead to join it, and I turn it to the right side, and I join the down part. I ensure that the joining falls in the middle. So the next thing I will do is to gather the ruffle. I'll just gather the ruffle to get my 16 inches. I measure at the armhole. Ensure that the thread will not cut. So measure what you are having here. It's not up to 16, so I have to use it a bit. Yes, I'm good to go with this now. This is the way it's going to be. So ensure that you place it on that place where the bias is attached. So you are going to stitch it down, go round. So let me go and do that. Here is the end result of our beautiful top. You can see how beautiful it looks. For this ruffle, I multiply my armhole circumference with 2.5. You are good to do yours multiply by 3, even up to 4 inches. It depends on how fuller you want this ruffle to be. I'm sure you are really enjoying this video. Share this video with your friends and family. Like this video, like it, and subscribe if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, Physique Fashion House channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.